Well, good evening, folks. My name is Patdees. Welcome to my channel, The Traveling Picker. I appreciate everyone being here. As you guys know, twice a month I do a eBay seller spotlight show. So it's been actually 3 weeks now since I've done one, and the last time we had Mr. Buys a lot on, and thought I would do a little bit something different. If somebody wants to come in and chit chat, I'll kind of wait till some people come in. But I've been focused on listing. I was at about 680 listings less than 2 weeks ago, and I've listed about close to 300 items in the past 2 weeks. So I've taken some pictures of some stuff, and I'm probably gonna list about 10 items while I feature the resellers, and that's it. We'll be on here for an hour, discuss. We'll talk about eBay. We'll talk about what's going on. I'll do about 10 listings, and if anybody wants to join me in the chat, they're more than welcome. Just comment in the chat, and we'll get you on here. So your camera on. So, but let's until some more people come in. Yeah, let's play our intro. Well, there you go. It seems long, but it goes fast. So let me pull up the traveling picker, and we'll start. How we did this basically was $10 for the year, and we said we would feature stores that were paying the $10, and basically twice a month we would feature them. So that's what we've been doing. If you go to the travelingpicker.com, you could see also I have them featured on here. This was the eBay subscribers promo. Now we're getting to the point where we're in March, so it's dwindling down for time to, if anybody wants to do it. But just I have like 8 people on here that I feature. Hey, Stewart, thank you. Um, Schreiker or Stewart, would any of you guys want to come in? Let me put it down here. I'll put the link. No pressure. You're more than welcome if you want to come in. But what we're going to do is feature the 8 stores this hour, and I'm going to do like 10 listings. So the first one we'll click is April's Treasure Finds. And April's Treasure Finds, and if you guys follow, and one of the reasons that we do this is basically just a network, help support each other, and really see what other people are selling, and help out small business. Hopefully, when you guys are checking these things out, or you need something, that instead of running to Walmart or Target, that you're supporting each other and stuff like that. So looks like she's got some new listings on here that I've just noticed. So she's got 94 items listed. Now, what we're going to do, we try to spend about 3 to 5 minutes on every person's store that we feature. And she's got 94 items. Oh, wow, look at that. Vintage uranium, Vaseline, green depression glass juice. She's got a lot of affordable stuff. A realistic portable cassette, Pyrex. So she's got a big category of different things. Even though she's only got 94, she doesn't appear to be niched. So she wants to kind of sell anything that she could really find to sell. Ooh, a rare. I like lunchboxes, but I don't know. A rare. Hi, Jen. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. A rare rare twin star Japanese little twin star lunchbox. I like lunchboxes. So I don't know when that was made. Oh, here, let's zoom in on this. Made in China. Oh, does that say 1976? Yeah, it does. I'm so used to a lot of the lunch boxes having the metal bracket to hold the thermos in, and I just picked up a couple lunch boxes. And actually, when we were shut down because of the pandemic, I had made a big deal where I bought from Clear Thrift, Jesse in Ohio, um, about 40 lunch boxes, and I haven't even opened them yet. And it's we can't see the store, just your site. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm glad you said that. See? Hold on. I'm glad you see it without having that voice there and me. Okay, hold on. Chrome tab. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. Sorry about See, I'm glad you said something. So let's go back real quick. We'll have this is April's Treasure's Fine. She has 94 items listed. I don't know why too. It's such a small screen. Let me see if I can make the screen. I think what happened was it's getting. Why is it getting? Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. That's all right that way too. But yeah, that's okay that way for now. I think what happened was the background got a little bit chopped. So there's the this is her store. And I was looking at this lunchbox here. As everyone knows, I like lunchboxes. What happens is if you have there it is. 2013. So 76 was the original. See how I can zoom on that? But 2013 is was probably the reprint because that's the latest date on it. Sort of like when they do books and stuff, they may have like a print 1, print 2, and then obviously the last print available. Yeah. So yeah, hey, Schreiker, I appreciate catching that for me. I wasn't watching I have two screens going here, and I got myself into talking and not paying attention to what was on the screen because I have a couple tabs open. So thanks for catching that. So this was the next item I was going to focus on. That's nice. I like that. It's a $10 item, $20, and she has make an offer. So I've picked up a bunch of things from actually Stewart. Here's Stewart. Hey, Stewart.
Hey, what's up, Pat?
How are you doing, sir?
Doing well. Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, I can hear you nice and clear. Yeah, that tiki that is pretty cool. That tiki mug. How have things have been for you on eBay lately?
They've been okay. I mean, it's been not as good as last month, but if you take everything together, my booths and other online platforms, I'm doing okay.
Right. And I think that's smart because you're not spread too thin. How long have you been? And I'm sorry if I've asked this before. I think you were on the first episode that we did like 2 months ago. How long have you been doing eBay?
Well, if you look at my account, it says I've been on there since '98, but that was really my wife selling kids' clothes and stuff.
Okay.
When our kids were little. I've really been doing it seriously probably 8-9 years.
And you do it full time?
Yeah, I do since September of last year.
Yeah. Okay, so now and this is where you find this, thetravelingpicker.com. And that was part of the $10 that they paid me for the whole year that I have it on my website. I already have paid for the whole year for my website, so it didn't even matter. But if you want to check out, and basically the description that we use is the one that they have on eBay. So since Stewart is here, we're going to go in and this store.
Yeah, by the way, Pat, you've been knocking it out of the park with your interviews lately. I've really enjoyed those.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing like one. I do one a month, and when I first started doing YouTube to get the time in, I kind of was naive to how kind of YouTube worked, and I really wanted to network and interview and do sort of like a David Letterman style American Pickers. And I mean, back I was even doing a late show on Saturday, and I was having my friends on, Jason and Eric, and there were some other guys that would pop in. There was probably I probably honestly the first 6 months probably had 45 or 50 different people on my channel, and I was enjoying it. And the problem is I want to kind of tell my story about entrepreneurship and the struggles I went through with cancer, and really the day-to-day thinking of myself being a reseller and trying to reset in life. And what was happening is I was kind of getting too much out of reselling, and it was kind of confusing the YouTube algorithm, what my channel was about. And I was kind of I was growing, but not at a rate that I felt like what I've done the last couple months, that if I niched down to just reselling content, that now people can say, well, what is it about, So I mean, I don't mind. I like reselling and I like meeting people, but I don't think work is just what it's all about. I mean, I go to Disney usually once a year, and I kind of wanted to share that. And sometimes, honestly, people, I got told by a friend, no one wants to see your damn vacations. But yet, I saw other channels that were doing Disney, but that's all they were doing then. They were just doing amusement parks. So, it was, but if I want to make YouTube work, I basically have to look at it from a business angle and a entrepreneur, and just focus on that. And that's what I've done the last couple months. And people don't realize, like, getting Rally Roots and Harry Tornado, and even my relationship with the Jeebus family and the Locker Nuts, it's been established the last 3 years. It just didn't happen overnight. But let me say hi to a couple people real. Oh, my mouse is acting up real quick in here. I don't want to think I'm snubbing anybody. Vintage Barbie, thank you for stopping. I appreciate it. Schreiker, always, man, this guy he must have the everybody's links programmed into his computer. But thank you, always supportive.
Schreiker's on every channel you turn on to.
Yeah, he's really. I tell you, he's been really supportive of me. I had done. If anyone knows, if you watched in the past, I've done some big interviews and worked with Topps, the company that does the baseball cards. And I had some artists on my show, and when the shutdown was, it was big. I mean, they were busy, and I have a little bit of artistic skill that I eventually like to develop more in the future, and really not, just be about reselling on eBay and Amazon. That eventually I like to do something with that. So, of course, Stewart is here, and he's wearing, again, in his my shirt. Thank you, Jen. Thank you. I thought I saw. Yep, I saw Saxton. It's funny because you get to know people's names and then their YouTube names, and you kind of get confused. So, and Mike. So, thanks for for the people that have just stopped in. And I do 2 of these a month, and I do one special interview a month. And I mean, I'm already booked out the next 2 or 3 months. I sort of plant that seed and try to get people that really I want verified people. I think we'll be excited with the guest that's coming on next month. Rachel was on, Rachel Strickland. And she's a former Miss Missouri, which was a great story to kind of, and her husband's an electrician, and now to be a reseller. And I like that wholesome image that she portrays. And of course, everybody knows who Rally Roots is, and they were February, and Josh and Haley were my guest last week for Harry Tornado. I mean, that guy has really figured out how to be a reseller and be a YouTuber. He only keeps like 350, 400 items listed. Now, obviously, because he's a YouTuber and he's really gained a following, he's able to, turny, and he's openly admitted he can make different decisions because he has YouTube income. So, I don't want to fool anyone that's watching or listening that, don't necessarily, and he would tell you that too, don't follow, what he's doing. So, so we'll get into Stewart's store. His store is Franklin Hill Ventures. And one thing that I started doing lately, and I tell you, I was a little, honestly, I was a little nervous about doing it because when you're on social media, unfortunately, sometimes you're going to get criticized. And I know a lot of times when people buy stuff on eBay, they really don't know who the person is. So if you want to kind of bridge all that together, you risk exposing yourself. So what I started doing was putting in hold on. I started putting these in all my stuff that they buy on eBay. It's a thank you card that says, "Hey, the Traveling Picker," and follow me on Instagram and YouTube. And really trying to tie everything together as far as the logo and hopefully that I can turn Traveling Picker website into where people reach out to me and say, "Hey, Pat, are you interested in buying?" Now, one thing has happened lately. I had two people reach out to the Jeebus family, and Jeebus family really doesn't buy collectibles. They buy storage units. They're more YouTubers than they are resellers. And anything I'm saying, they haven't publicly, they've said it. So they forward the email to me because they asked permission, and the stuff was the deals were too small. Like I can't drive 3 hours for $250. It's just not worth it. You know what I mean? And also is I have to basically educate people. Look, I'm a reseller and I have to buy it at the right price. I told those two people they would be better off selling it locally on Facebook Marketplace themselves. And now, if they got a storage unit of stuff, because you're taking the risk. Hey, Phil, thank you for the $25 fly to Texas, and we could do your show from a field on a tractor. Sure. But thanks for the $25 super chat. I got your message on one of my videos that you got your shirt in, so thank you. I do plan to probably come to Texas next year, so we'll have to coordinate something because I'm going to come and see Chris the Goose. And Kimmy, I think, is going to be moving down to Texas for sure. So I do plan on coming down there. So thanks again, Phil, for supporting me. I do appreciate it. So let's get back into, and now that we got some of the behind the scenes, let's get back into sharing Stewart's store. And Stewart, approximately how many? It says right now you have 799 items. How many items, and you don't have to disclose if you want to, but how hard is it holding 799 items? Are you constantly listing stuff every day?
Oh yeah. I mean, I just now got to 800. I've been trying to get to 800 for a long time. And, now I've been bouncing around between about 795 and 810 as I sell stuff. And I've been trying to list, 5 to 10 things every day. And I cross post most everything to, multiple marketplaces and, then try to balance that with the stuff I'm taking out to my booths. I'm up to 6 different booths at 3 different locations now. So that takes, a fair amount of time as well.
Now, none of the stuff that you have in your booths is obviously listed on eBay, right?
No. I cross post stuff between all the online marketplaces, and I'm currently on eBay, Etsy, Mercari, Poshmark, Facebook Marketplace, Depop, and then I sell directly on Instagram some as well. But I don't ever take stuff to the booth where I'd have to call somebody working that day and say, "Hey, can you go pull this out of my booth?" I don't think I'd be very popular down there if I was calling all the time, having people run to my booth to pull stuff out.
I made a mistake years ago where I was selling a local sporting goods store that I was friends with realized that I had an issue when we had closed our restaurant. And they said, "Hey, would you want to sell some of the stuff that is stale, old inventory, like brand new stuff?" And I was running into that problem where, let's say they had something, I would only live, still leaving the store with a certain amount. And they weren't telling me sometimes, and it hurt my eBay account because I'd go there and they didn't have it, and I wound up in over a course of about 15 months canceling 4 items, and that hurt me. And I explained that to eBay, and it took a little while for them to basically give me back at the level, because they had cut me from something like they cut me $22,000 worth of eligibility to sell things.
Wow.
And that hurt, because even I all of a sudden was like, well, where's this stuff at? And then my son was doing a store, and we were like, I might have had some stuff in one box and he had the same, and it became a little bit of mass confusion that I probably honestly have another at least 1,000 items that I could list, but I just want to make sure before I'm listing anything anymore going forward is that I know where it's at, and there's some sort of where it's labeled, and I'm organized, some organization. That's kind of the word I'm looking for. And where do you find that you get most of your stuff? And I see you have a lot of glassware and silverware, stuff that is related sort of to a lot of maybe antique booths or antiques, and you don't seem afraid to be selling glassware and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I had to adjust my sourcing strategy some with COVID, like most everybody who's here probably did. I would say back pre-COVID, I was getting probably 90% of my stuff from in-person auctions. There's 3 or 4 here in the Knoxville area that I would go to. And of course, then after COVID or during COVID, those all went away. And online auctions are just more challenging because there's so many more eyes on things, so they go higher. But I would say now I get, it's a combination of mostly online auctions now. There's still a few in-person auctions, but they're usually only once every month or two. I go to the thrift shops just about every day, hit a lot of estate sales. And of course, now we're coming into yard sale season. And then just with relationships that I built up from my antique booths. I mean, I work at one of my antique locations every Saturday. I work the register, and I've met a lot of people, and my name's kind of gotten out there. So I get a lot of people who call me now, hey, my grandmother died, or, I know this person who's looking to get rid of a lot of stuff. And so my wife and I go and clean out houses and stuff now sometimes as well. But, I would still say my bread and butter is still a combination of, auctions, estate sales, thrift shops, and yard sales. So, but I did recently meet a guy who flips houses that I go to church with, and we were just talking, and he comes across stuff all the time that he's looking to clean out. So I'm hoping that'll turn into a positive connection.
Yeah, and I had a guy, and I guess I got too excited. That last store, real quick, I featured was Record Crate Adam. He only had 10 things listed, but he does sell records. And again, that's another thing to keep in mind as I'm showing these stores. You might come across where Adam is really niched into records, and he only had he has his own physical stores too. So if you come across something that, hey, I bought a storage unit and there were 600 records, and you just don't know what to do with them, maybe reach out to a person like Adam, and you may be able to work out a deal. Because he knows what he can sell things for. And at the end of the day, a lot of times, especially when people buy units, or they're not married, or they haven't bought the stuff, they don't care. People want to, do you find that sometimes where I ran into this guy that gave me it was something like 1,000 books. And he said to me, a lot of times, like, we get a dumpster, and a lot of stuff we don't even keep. It just goes into a dumpster.
Yeah, I know there's, and that's kind of like this guy that I'm talking to about these houses. He just has stuff like, glassware and china and stuff that he doesn't really have a method to sell it. And
right.
So, he'll either just give it to me, or, or I'll buy it, for, a good price. But,
right. Hey, Betty Webb, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you got your shirt in, and I do appreciate. I've been giving out some of the shirts lately on some of the videos for people commenting. People don't realize commenting on the videos helps because it keeps pushing it up. So we're over at Source Camp now, and she is a new eBay seller, and as you can see, because she only has 2 followers, 94 items sold. So yeah, she has a variety of stuff, which you can always look at the categories here. One thing that I've gotten into lately, and I've noticed some bigger YouTubers is, and this is what made me think about it, is shoes. And I'm really hoping that is going to help me bring my average up, because so many times, and that's the thing, I'm at like 955 listings, and I probably have about 40 or 50 listings that are under $10. Sometimes when you're selling cards or things related to cards, those things may be only $3. So I need those bigger listings, the shoes that are $30, $40 to bring that up. Now I see like this young lady here, she is, I mean, look, $10 shoes. Those are obviously kids shoes. But, and a lot of times with kids shoes, especially with buying something from, a lot up, they only stay in the shoes maybe sometimes a month or two, which are practically new. I don't know how you are, Stewart, but I kind of feel guilty sometimes buying anything new anymore, that knowing that I can get a better deal buying, lightly used,
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've bought anything new. Most of my clothes I find when I'm out thrifting. So
yeah, I've done the same thing.
Yeah, and Source Camp has 3 followers now. I just followed them. So
okay, thank you, appreciate it.
So where do you get most of your stuff, Pat?
Well,
I see you traveling around. I see your videos, so I know where you get some of it.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I've done garage sales, I've done flea markets, I've done Goodwill, Salvation Army, yard sales, storage units. I've had even people reach out to me, and once in a while you do get free stuff. I've had people call me, and the mistake that I did, I was so busy on Amazon 2 years ago, and last year was okay. I should have taken the time to focus more on actually even doing more on eBay, because it is, that much different and stuff. And I kind of created it. I was so busy on Amazon, even when I was getting other stuff, that I kind of, the house became a little bit like a hoarder, and I couldn't even park in the garage. And if you know me, when I had the restaurant, our house was like immaculate. Like we never, like people used to say, oh, we never see nothing in the yard. And you could come in our living room and our kitchen, and now it's much better the last 2 or 3 months, because like I invested into shelves, and I'm down here in my office in the downstairs finished area. So the whole downstairs house now has become really the business. And I don't want to, I would love to have a place where I could probably find a place that's 1,200 square feet for $1,000 a month. But right away off the bat, between insurance and all that, because you have to have different insurance when you have the public that could come there or things like that. And then you get the I don't want to put a $20,000 commitment. There's a guy I found. I think his name is Golden State Picker, out in California, and he does something like $250,000 a year just right from his house. Now he sends some stuff in. He does Amazon and eBay. So I'm not at a point where I feel the need to put myself into that obligation to do that. I need to be more responsible, and I sold in 2020 about 208,000 on Amazon and approximately 8,000 on eBay.
What kind of stuff are you selling on Amazon mainly, Pat?
A lot of and this is where again 2020 was so weird that I was selling a lot of stuff that people needed because people were closed down. Like a big seller for me was hair products. Mm-hmm. People needed cutters, they needed coloring, and now it's a mixture of stuff. But eBay or Amazon is not at the level that it should be now. Amazon's good. Even Christmas time, you sell a lot of books, a lot of toys. I sell a lot of. I sell a lot of. I've sold soap. I sell deodorant. I like selling those things. But what has happened is the margins have considerably dropped, and Amazon is basically trying to control what you can sell stuff for. I mean, I've had listings removed over 4 cents. Where
I was just going to say, I guess it's with the kind of stuff I sell. I haven't had much luck on Amazon, and so many things are gated now. Most anything I go to sell, I have to get approval, and you have to show, that you bought it wholesale. And so I'm in the process, I think, of just shutting my Amazon store down. I have sold a few things on there, but I think when you're selling vintage antique, one-offs like I am, it's the best marketplace.
Hey, Boltman, thanks for stopping. Yeah, it definitely doesn't to me to be even now a lot of things that are going on. There's a lot of Walmart clearance that's out there because I think what's happening is the stuff is catching up as far as the and some stuff, and the stores are being bombarded and knowing that 2 months from now they got more stuff coming in. So there's a bunch of stuff that kind of now, and they're at a point where they have nowhere to go, but they're selling the stuff out at clearance. Because I know I did a video just recently where I bought some stuff on clearance, but it's not just happening in my store. What is there? 4,000 Walmarts? I'm not quite sure. That's just a guess. So, at the end of the day, even if there's 1,000 Walmarts at 10 units, that's 10,000 items that you're going to compete with other sellers. You may wind up sitting on that stuff for a year or two until that stuff sells out, as people basically want to give it away to make $1 on it. That's not a good, for example, you sell $10,000 on Amazon, you might net 1,500, where if you buy right on eBay, you sell 10,000, you could net $5,000, so the margins are much different and depending on what you're selling. So this is Paul Antonelli's store. Now somebody said, but we don't feature anybody's YouTube channel because that's not really what it's about. It's more about reselling and featuring their store. And again, we only charge $10 for a whole year. Toys and stuff, but I think he changed his YouTube name, which Schreiker would know, and Schreiker does share it there. Oh yeah, The Art of Reselling. But Paul has 229 items listed, and he gets a lot of things. I've bought some stuff actually from him on his auctions because he doesn't do auctions sort of at a steady time or all the time. Sometimes what'll happen is you can catch his show and get some good deals, and he's down there in Florida. I know he's looking to move back north. I think he's originally from the Massachusetts, Boston area. And I've bought some things from him that I've sold because, it just was a good price. It didn't, get run up. But he used to have a comic book store, and because he has access to a lot of things that are Disney related, where people across the country don't, he has some like there's a guy I wish I kind of knew, like, hey Pat, I can get you X amount of stuff a year that you can sell and make money on, because people pay up for a lot of Disney stuff. He's got an assortment of stuff, and again, prices. Look at that, $5 for a poster. So he's got a lot. He's done like real estate. He does the auctions. He does on eBay. And do you like doing this full time, Stewart?
Yeah, I do. And so far so good. I've still got some work to do to get where I ultimately need to be. But, of course, I feel like I've been doing it full time for a long time. I just had 2 full-time jobs, and, now I've got 1 full-time job with this.
Yeah, I like doing it, but I'll tell you what has happened to me. I had my slowest month in February in 2 years. And I never want to mislead anybody to think that this is a gravy train or this, and people can say, well, Pat, you sold $400,000 in 2 years. You're right. And I made enough those 2 years to get by and do some things. But, You can't just be like an artist, be a one-hit wonder, have 2 good years and struggle the next 10. So I've really like this is where I've been, and friends and people are, well, you got to keep listing, and they're right. You got to keep list. At least if you're buying the stuff and what you got out there, you at least got to get things listed. Adventures with the Hudsons, how you doing? Thanks for stopping.
Well, there's definitely a lot of considerations of going full time that may not pop in your mind when you first do it. I mean, the obvious ones are like insurance, and fortunately, we were already on my wife's insurance, so that was not an issue. And then, I'm at a point in my life. I mean, I'll be 55 here on my next birthday, so I've already had most of my good earning years and did a really good job saving and contributing to retirement funds and those sorts of things. So, so it's different than somebody when they're in their 20s or 30s starting out, and you're, if you're just getting by, you're not putting back money for when you're older and those types of things that, I didn't think about that kind of stuff when I was young, but
right.
But, I think it was easier for me at this age to do it. I could never have done it. I mean, I have 4 kids, and, when they were younger, I mean, obviously I couldn't have been doing this full time. And, now I've just about got them all out of college, and we've got basically one left to get graduated from undergrad. And, that'll be like getting a raise there. So.
Right. Now, this store, real quick, because if they're watching, I want to make sure they don't say I didn't mention Diamond H Sales. 48 followers, 4,500 items sold, 100 positive feedback, and really a lot of variety of stuff. What I like is looking at these stores and saying, "Wow, I didn't think that could sell." And you run into a lot of items that, at the end of the day, it always seems to be. I mean, I know some people, I don't want to be bothered with that junk if it's only $5, but sometimes there's money in junk. Now, Wild 9 Arts and Stuff, 18 followers, one. Hi, Pat. Hope you did well with Gorman stuff. Here's the issue. What happened with Gordman's? I have everything of Gordman's listed on eBay right now, and because I was so busy with other things, and I waited. I didn't list none of that right away. What happened was I bought 2 Gordmans that were closed down, and I bought 3 Models that were closed down at the same time. So I got over $30,000 worth of inventory for a great price. But where I really did good was the Models. I mean, I was selling bats. I was selling gloves. I was selling a lot of sports-related stuff. The problem I've noticed with Gordman's now is there's a lot of other people on the listings also. So it's at a point that the shirts are brand new and the stuff is brand new, but it's not commanding a great price. So you got ladies' blouses that are averaging $10 plus $4 shipping, $14. Now, I got into those cheap, so it's not like I have a lot of money like, oh my, I'm saying, I already pretty much made all my money back with just selling the Model stuff. That's the problem when you got let's say I don't know how many Gorshams were closed, but if there's 50 stores closed, across 9-10 states, and now everybody's out there buying the stuff for resale purposes. Now, I tried to do some bulk deals where I would sell 10 of those brand new on the hanger, retail wise, about $175, $200 sticker price, shipped for $60. And I did list a couple of them up on Facebook Marketplace, but didn't get no takers. But I've been noticing there are some other people selling some of the Gorsham's clothing. And again, the stuff is coming in at like $10, but it has a sticker price of at least twice that. So I don't know. Even right now, clothes are tough because there is a lot of clothes, and also what's going on in the economy right now. Some of that stuff would be great. Like, that's one thing with Stewart. He has a shop where he could put antiques. If I had a place locally where even a little store where you could put these new blouses and jackets and shirts and stuff like that. I mean, here this is what I'm doing. And I show, like, I take the stuff and let me stop the screen here real quick. But I take the stuff and I fold it up. So here I got a pack of stuff. It's all folded up. Now the pants, I feel pretty confident that I'll do. I've been noticing the pants go for $25, $30. It's a lot of work though. But once I get it, I get it. I take the pictures, and once I get it, fold it and put in the bag. But this is how I'm doing it from now on. And one thing I just did, I don't have the stickers down here. For $10, what I did is sometimes when I would fold the item, especially on a shirt, I couldn't remember what the size was. Harlan says hello.
Yeah, hey Harlan.
I bought stickers that now on the outside, I'm going to put a circle sticker that says extra large, large, or small. So now I don't have to, because sometimes I'm like, oh, what is that? Was that a small? And then I got to it's so tight and I got to rip the bag and open a little bit. So now as I close the bag, boom, I'm going to put a sticker on. And this way, sort of like a little file cabinet in a tote or a box, I can have the smalls to the mediums to the large, the extra large. But I have enough. Honestly, even that $30,000 worth of stuff I bought, at the end of the day, if I get even 30 cents on the dollar, I'll be fine. I'll still make money. But you can't sell them if they're not listed. And that's the key.
I'm impressed you can fold those and get them in those little bags. I'm so bad at folding clothes.
Well, what I do is I bought probably 3 or 4 different size bags. And what I want to do is these are all brand new things. And I even use what I've been doing. And I don't do this all the time, but even on some of my used shirts and stuff, I sometimes will even wash them if I feel like they have a certain sort of that musty smell, and I fold them up and I put them in a clear bag. I want somebody, when they open their package or their bag, that they pull it out and it's like, oh wow, like did a good job, and that I really care about. One of the things I'm going to get into, and we'll go back to Wild Nine Arts and stuff, is I traveled to Florida, and these are exclusive. Plan on offering on eBay and my website, and you can only get these at Disney World. Is there a big profit margin in it? No, but at the end of the day, they don't take up a lot of space, and I don't want to be just focused on one thing. Like here's a shirt, for example. Like I fold it. Now I try to make it like I could see the tag here. It says me and Lee. That shirt only goes for about $10. But I have, it's funny. It's like I must have folded up in the past 2 weeks, probably 400 pieces of clothing. Hey, Mr. Sadie, thanks for stopping by. So, Stewart, I'm not taking a lot of your time up, am I? Do you?
No. So the artwork things you were showing from Disney, are those just ones that artists on site do there? Or?
Yeah, these are art that they do on site. Disney Animal Kingdom and Larry Dotson, and they're only exclusive. Like you have to go to, in other words, I have to go to Disney World to buy this.
That's cool. That's one. I do a lot with art in my booth. I don't really do much art online, but
yeah.
But those aren't very big though, so that'd be easy to ship.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I have 2 sizes. I have that size. I mean, even like someone who likes drafts or Disney. It's for the person, to be honest, that can't make that trip or wants to give a gift and says, "Hey, for $40, I'll buy one." And at the end of the day, I only make $10. But you know what? That's all right. So let's go back to Wild Nine's Arts and stuff. And I'm glad that you're asking questions because I want people to learn and not just about featuring stores, but about kind of what our mindset is and how we're doing it. So this person has 131 listings, but they've been selling for a while. 1.6 thousand items sold. And Schreiker, again, I appreciate what you're doing by dropping links in there. I even sold. I'll give you an example on eBay. And my wife, we used to own Subways years ago, And we then did a restaurant, but my wife is back involved in Subway, and we had to go up to Buffalo, New York, which is about 4 hours from where we're from, and swap out their pizzas because we know how to hook them up and do it and do the. And my wife runs a store and oversees four stores in our area and then 2 in Buffalo, and they were going to throw out the computer, the POS system. Whoa! I'll take it, and I sold 2 scanners for $110. And the thermal printers are worth $50. And, so things like that, sometimes little parts that you can take off, can be valuable. And, and for me, as long as it's not illegal, I'll sell it. I'll sell anything. So I even will go through, and I did, it's funny, the other day I was up to 2:30 in the morning going through my, my eBay store is always featured on my channel. And I will, Bill, I will show you too. I honestly, because for time purposes, I always try to make sure I show everybody else first. But it's always on the channel link above in YouTube, and you can see it there. But I was going through my shelf here of like stuff that I got. So sometimes what'll happen. This is a perfect example. Walgreens will close down. And instead of taking their inventory, they don't want to move it. They'll clearance some of their inventory. So I'll go in there and buy the stuff that I can sell. Well, I may have something priced at $12.99 that I paid $4 for, and I'm going to make $3. Then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, it hasn't been selling. Oh, well, you know why? Because somebody cut the price down. And now all of a sudden, you know what? It's been sitting there. It's been kind of stale. It's got about 4 months more on the expiration. The other night, I did that with about 4 or 5 items, and within a half an hour, I did $100. And so I have about 600 listings on my Amazon store, and now almost 1,000 on my eBay store. One of the things I'm going to do in the future, and I haven't done it yet, is I've been, to kind of promote myself and stuff like that. I've been giving out shirts once a month, and I'm going to give out one today to somebody. And I'm probably going to do in the future, like if somebody buys a certain amount of stuff from me on eBay, I'll get, the shirts cost, I sell them for $17.95, but they cost me $12. So, really at $17.95, unless I get like 100 at a time, then I can get it down for $9. So it's not really about making money on the shirts. I make, $2 or $3 if I do. It's more about, promoting and thanking people, and, hopefully people appreciate them. And one day I like to have a map across the United States with like all these shirts that people can share their picture, and
And I'll put in a plug for the shirts. They're awesome. They're really comfortable, and my wife loves the green color on those things.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So this was Wild 9 Arts and stuff. If you get a chance, check out their store. So let's go see who we haven't featured yet.
Hey Pat, so how much time do you spend a week on YouTube versus like listing and other reselling related activities?
Well, lately I spend more time listing and focus on reselling than I do YouTube, because what happened was, when you want to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, it's a lot of work. But YouTube can be, if you're spending too much time on it, like right now, my iPad will show me how much time I spend on YouTube. And it says on average, I watch 30 minutes a day. Now I'm doing 2 to 3 videos a week, which is approximately, each video takes about a half an hour to an hour to record. Editing and uploading take approximately 4 hours. So, I probably have 10, 15 hours a week right now into doing YouTube, and I'm spending, I don't know, there's days, it's funny because there's days, I live in a winter wonderland up here in Pennsylvania sometimes, but there's days I'll go to 5, 6 stores. I, as a person, always do better when I keep myself busy. And I have the tendency, and February was a low for me. I just turned 50, and my mother-in-law had passed away like 5, 6 weeks prior to that, and I kind of was in a slump. And a little bit down about things and looking at my sales. And then I finally just woke up one day and said, I got to get on the ball, and I got to hustle. And man, when I was hustling for Amazon, I didn't care about doing 15 hours because the money was there. That's the tough part, is sometimes people become their own enemy because they don't want to push themselves because they feel like the money's not there. But the money can't be there if you're not listing and doing what you need to do. So I am spending more time listing and getting organized, and I about what I'm doing, and maybe my timing is off because the economy with inflation, food inflation, and gas inflation. But at the end of the day, there's always going to be people that will buy stuff. What will they buy? I mean, today I bought a wrestler. I spent $30 on a wrestler because Scott Hall passed away today, and I was a big fan and seen him in person, and I didn't have that action figure, so I went and bought it. So I don't know. I think sometimes people like to buy certain things like collectibles that kind of makes them feel good or reminisce and stuff like that. And but I also think that there's an opportunity with stuff that's more affordable. When you could buy a good pair of shoes on eBay for $30, it may be 30 or 35, but don't forget, you're going to spend an hour to go pick them up. You're going to spend $10 in gas. So a lot of times some things are cheaper. It all depends when you want it and stuff. But yeah, Harlan, I know. It sucks. And life is short. So Mr. Buys a Lot here, he has the biggest store, and he was our guest last time. He has 71,000 items sold, and I know he does approximately about 300, 350. He may do more than that, and I hope I'm not misquoting. And he's a friend of mine. He's got 181,000 items listed in his store. Plus, he does the weekly auctions. Brian's a really good guy. Brian, he moved from Allentown area to South Carolina, but still has a warehouse up this way. And I've done a couple deals with him on different things. So he's been a valuable source and a lot of knowledge. He a lot of times will flip things that he don't even list. I mean, he's got but he had a lot of overhead, and I think he's trying to cut that down. People don't realize with a lister, with an employee, with a warehouse, I mean, his overhead was probably $9,000 a month just to turn the key. So Mr. Buys a Lot usually, no, and honestly, LSS Batcher, I know you would support me and come around on. Again, that goes back to what I talked about in the beginning. I was a restaurant owner, and it was, sort of like part of my travels. I'll stop in Boston Market and do a review. And sometimes I think when you're doing YouTube, you're trying to see if any certain things will stick or, do certain things, but you kind of confuse your people that want to watch you. And I like talking about stocks too, but I do that on another channel called Money Me. And I have a couple hundred people over there that, are following me over there. But no, this is all just reselling related. I do put usually about a minute or two bonus at the end of like some of my travels if I see a neat place. One of the things is one of my videos is Paul Jr. Designs that I went to, and that's my most popular video. So I'm not going to take it down. It still gets views. So this is my store, and people were asking, and I've made the channel art here. It says, from baseball cards to bulldozers, we've sold many items over the last 21 years, and it's actually been longer than that because that banner art's about 3 years old. But I did sell a bulldozer one time on a flatbed as a consignment for somebody and made $500 on it. And I've sold a lot of baseball cards, but I'm up to 954 items right now. And that's up from about 680 just 2 weeks ago. So I've been really trying to stay focused on hey, if I'm putting out the money and stuff that, I got to at least recoup my money by listing things. So, and Stewart is the perfect example of one of the reasons why I chose to start listing some China and stuff like that, because a lot of times you can pick it up for reasonable and people want to complete something. And they're looking for the one or two that they need 10 of or something. So sometimes it's funny. Like I ran into this shirt and I didn't look. I thought this was cool. Now have I saw? There's somebody watching it right now, but look at that elephant, the color. So if you're a person who obviously likes animals and it's has an elephant on the back, that's not something that you just find anywhere. You don't go to Walmart. I actually don't pick up anything that's really sold at Walmart anymore because it just doesn't, as far as shirts or clothes, because there's no money in it. Because if the Goodwill's selling it for $10 and they're selling it for $12 at Walmart, why am I going to buy it? You know what I mean? Hey, Craig, what's up, buddy? I was going to call you, and I kind of did this on the fly 20 minutes prior and said, I'm going to go live, and Stewart happily jump. It makes it a lot easier when somebody jumps in because then you can carry a conversation. And I just listed, here's something, it was funny because when I was at the Goodwill, here's one of those, and real quick, and I get a little sidetracked here. Here's one of those shirts that I got from Gorsherman's. Now, it's brand new. Here's a tag. Billy London. It's a good looking shirt. And what am I? I'm asking $9 for it, $6. Hey, Kathy Dees, thank you for commenting. I just met you a couple weeks ago, teasing that that's my family. But I have a lot of this is a brand new shirt, and really, $15. That's a good deal. I mean, I think go and try to buy a shirt like that now. For this was something. It was funny. I was watching a lady scan audio tapes, and these were laying right to the side of her. She didn't even touch or pick up. These are $2.99. I picked them up for, and these are rare. I have one that I listed yesterday for $20. It's missing a tape. I sold it within an hour of listing it. My son actually a couple of years ago bought cassette tape learning tapes. I forget, it was the Bear or something, but he sold them for like $200.
Those probably didn't even have barcodes, did they, to scan?
No,
yeah.
No.
I find in thrift shops, I pick up a lot of stuff that the people scan it, like books. I pick up a lot of books, older books that don't have barcodes that they just skip over.
Well, sometimes too, if you find something that's kind of, I feel is like rare, I mean, here I got 10 things here. I got a list. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at this. Hershey Kiss pillow. So I found Hershey Kiss, Reese's, Twizzlers, and Jolly Rancher. Now, this Hershey Kiss, blue Hershey Kiss pillow, I don't know how much it will go for. My goal is to really buy 2,000, so I have to get 46 listings done, which I plan to. I don't mind sometimes if my sleep pattern sometimes screwed up. So if I got to stay up to 2:00 sometimes. Now here's that. Okay, I'll share it. I just looked it up. Sometimes even looking up things can be a little bit like But here's this Hershey Kiss pillow and blanket. Somebody's asking $25, but I think it's the only one on there. If I could buy something that's a little odd or stands out and at the right price, I don't mind. Now, I think I may only have the second one on there. I'm looking at sold. The last I have been to estate sales. Actually, I was to estate sales when I came for the meetup down in Nashville back in 2019. I met with Scott and Shane and Steve and Barry was down. I mean, there was probably about 45 of us, and we went to the Nashville flea market. Harlan was down there, and I did go to estate sales. Yeah, but again, you got to keep in mind the reason I didn't is because I was so busy bombarded with Amazon but that is going to be a thing that I've been looking at, and I even sometimes will do private Facebook deals. Like I did a Facebook deal that the lady passed away and had a card shop in a place like where Stewart sells, and I went and did a private deal and bought a bunch of her stuff out. Sometimes that's where I tell you, Facebook Marketplace, you can find a lot of deals that you even avoid the issue. Now I got to make sure that if when I'm going is that I do want to record some of it, and sometimes people are a little leery of or is he recording because he'll come back later and rob us? I don't know. Now this is, I put blue kisses, so I wonder if I put blue Hershey kiss pillow, if more will come up. Yeah, not only, those style came up. But somebody who's into collecting this Hershey stuff, I mean, honestly, I think I'll probably sell that. Stewart, there's a question for you.
I'm in Knoxville, so in East Tennessee. Yeah, so do you ever proactively put anything on Facebook, or
I have.
You're looking for things?
I haven't done that I'm looking for things, but I am going to change that. But I do, like, I just did a video is going to come out next week, and it took me 4 days to negotiate a deal with this one lady, and she was a little bit difficult, but I closed the deal 2 weeks ago, and already have sold. I've already made like 35% back of my money. So, okay, so now here's these pillows. Look, I mean, this one's a little different. But one thing nice about these is these can go into a poly an eBay poly bag. So it looks like these pillows, even though exactly this one, it looks like 20 bucks, 15, 20, 27, pre-owned, $28. I've actually been down. I came down in 2020 or 20, was it? Yeah, I think it was 2022 towards the fall. I came down and did the train ride across Tennessee. I don't know if you in what was it called? Oh, the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah, there's several that go different areas in East Tennessee, up in the mountains, and
yeah. I part of traveling, but I mean, I've driven back and forth between. Oh, okay, so here's this one. Oh, not quite the same, but still, because this one, mine doesn't say strawberry, but $17. The funny thing is, Stewart, I bought these probably a year ago, and here they are, not listed. So I took pictures today, and again, the push is to get these 1,000 items and get you have all this where you can list things, and it's like, I feel like it's like having 1,000 square feet store and only having 400 of it filled up and the rest of it's just empty. It doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah, I'll have stuff sitting in my garage. I mean, well, I've got a bunch of stuff sitting in my garage, and I'll list something, I'll sell in 2 hours. I'm thinking I've had a $50 bill just sitting in my garage for the last year, and I've gotten better. I mean, that's one of the big pushes I've been making since I've been full time, to try to get through everything I had. My wife and I went through a period where we cleaned out like 3 houses in about a 3-month span, and we had so much stuff to get through and not enough time. When I was at my last job, I was driving from Knoxville to Chattanooga, which is an hour and 40 minutes to work at a hospital, 4 days a week. So that was not leaving a lot of time for this.
I have to, I have to make this work. I have to, get my, and this is why I really been focused on in the last even 2 weeks pushing, because it's got to work. I can't. My wife has a good job and makes enough to pay about 70% of our bills, but I'm too. I've had a lot of employees over the years and too driven, and that I got to make this work, that it can be a full-time income, and otherwise I have to figure something out. So
yeah, I'm right there with you, Pat. I mean, that's I'm not going to let this fail, and I've been in the corporate world. I've done a lot of different things, and I don't want to go back there. So
Well, I have a health issue that I nobody really, if I can't lift 35 pounds repeatedly over 8 hours, and I have to go to the cancer center every 3 months. So I'm sort of like, I got it. And I mean, 50 is not old, but do I want to work all the weekends anymore? No. And if I do, I don't want to be doing it for $12 an hour. When I worked for a big corporation one time, ConAgra, and when I worked the weekends, I made good money. I made good overtime, and you know, I just, this has got to work. And I wish, I guess for me down the road is, I'd like to kind of be, I'd like to kind of do a little bit of a business model where maybe I'm even a little bit of a fulfillment center where somebody could say to me, "Hey, Pat, I'm working with a guy right now that has a coffee company, and I'm selling probably 8 to 10 boxes of coffee for him a month. Not a big profit maker. It's only about $60-$70 a month. But imagine like that company, it'd say, hey, we don't really want to hire somebody, but we'll ship, for example, 200 cases at a time to your warehouse, and you handle all the orders. We give you permission, and we're going to pay you, for example, $1.50. Before you know it, you're like, wow, I'm making 8,000, 10,000 from one. So imagine if I had 5 companies like that maybe only want to do 30 to 50,000 a year online, and they can't afford to necessarily pay an employee $30,000 because the margins aren't there, but they're there enough to kind of experiment that if I made, let's say, 8,000, 10,000 by doing that, if I did that for 5 companies, all of a sudden I'd be making like 40,000 just filling orders in between, and then there'd be like a non-compete clause where I wouldn't sell those items at all. They could audit my store. That's eventually what I want to do, and we want to live in Florida at least half the year. So I like that appeal to have this business go anywhere, that you're not tied just down to Pennsylvania.
Well, I've got 3 daughters who will all get married at some point, so that's my motivation to make all this work.
Yeah.
So.
So, all right, I want to make sure we didn't skip anybody. Let me real quick. And since Stewart came on, he made it a lot easier and more comfortable. So, we had Adams, Stewart, April, Mr. Buys a Lot, Source Camp, Diamond Sales, Paul, and Wild Arts and stuff. If anybody still wants to be featured, again, we do 2 of these a month, and you could go on our website, pay the $10 for the rest of the year, and all you do is click here, just like we did tonight. And I don't even know, honestly. I probably this will be the only year that I do it, because I'm going to be so busy. I hope next year with stuff and traveling around that if I do this, this was just done as a network thing. And obviously at $1 a month, I'm not making nothing because I also give the money out. So let's do a t-shirt giveaway. Stewart, can you are you on your phone, or are you on the computer?
I'm on my computer.
In the side chat, we have 60. Pick a number one. You see where it says side chat?
You're talking about on YouTube or in StreamYard?
StreamYard.
The private chat, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Type something there so I can see it.
Okay. What am I typing? Just
anything, so I know that we're on the same page. Okay. So you're going to pick a number 1 through 20, and then we're going to the person who gets closest without going over is going to win a t-shirt.
All right. You ready?
Yep. Okay. All right, guys. In the chat, from 1 through we had 16, but still 1 through 20 without going over. And the first person who actually hits the number will stop, and we'll do it for a minute. And but you can't go over. So pick a number. And like Schreiker said, just go. We're going to give it like a minute. Hey, Lisa.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Nope. And you get one. Try to do one guess, guys. Make it fair for everybody. Now I know we must have a lot of lurking people that aren't typing, but
And while they're typing that, Pat, are
yeah,
you okay? Can I plug an antique festival that's going
yeah,
on?
of course, yeah. Go ahead.
If anybody's down in Tennessee, the first weekend in May, Clinton, Tennessee, which is just north of Knoxville, they're having their spring antique festival, and they'll close all the streets off, and there'll be street vendors and all the antique malls that are there will have big sales. That's my booth at Granny's Attic there, and it's a really good time. Food trucks and music, and I think there's a beer garden, and so yeah, if you're in the area, stop by.
All right.
Yep, I see it.
Okay, but LL it was 4, but LS Basher get. But this is what I'm gonna do. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 people in the chat that took the time to comment. Email me. Every one of you will be getting a shirt. So for the other 10 or 12 that didn't want to participate or do a number, see, I surprised you. So the 5, 6 people that did, I'm going to mark it down here real quick. Bill McWater, L.S. Basher, Lisa, Kathy Dees, Junk Trader. So that's, and Pam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 6. I think if I got it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do. Email me. Just tell me your size. Now, full disclosure, if you want a small or medium, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer because we are getting more colors come closer to June. But large, extra large, 2X and 3X, we all have in stock. And email me within the next. If you want the shirt, you got to email me within the next 2 days. You email me 2 weeks from now and say, Pat, I forgot. Too late. We want to, All right. Stewart, I want to thank you for coming on, and Schreiker, thank you for modding. I put the email. I'll put it there again. If you want to do me a favor, you don't have to. When you get your shirt, take a picture of it, send it to me, allow me to use it on my website, social media, and Schreiker, email me too. I'm going to give you a shirt. So Schreiker, I appreciate your support. Email me. I will send you a shirt too.
You're like the Oprah of YouTube tonight, Pat.
Well, at the end of the day, sometimes I'll be honest, and this is going to sound maybe a little bit. There's been times that I supported people in the past through YouTube chats that never comment. I've bought stuff, auctions on them. They never comment. They don't support me. And why don't I support the people that are here right now tonight in the chat supporting me and give back that way? Phil gave me $25. That basically paid for 3 shirts. And it's about, I don't mind giving back if people are supporting me. And that's what it really what it boils down to.
Hey, relationships are everything in this business. So.
Yeah. And I look, I get it. I know people are busy, and I get it. But I have put a lot of time into other being a cheerleader sometimes for other people to not get the same love and respect back. And that's a little bit disappointing. So,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's all right.
I was just going to say, I know I speak for everyone else. How much I really appreciate, the opportunity to, get my site and shop promoted, and to be able to come on here and talk with you. It's a lot of fun, and I appreciate everything you do for all of us.
You know yourself, it's not about the money, because I charge $10 for a whole year, and I've bought stuff. Now I never knew who you were. I bought stuff twice from your store that I like. I never thought about antique booths at the level. So this is also about learning and networking and stuff. And I hope people take this as, that they some value out of it, not just doing this. Just, I take this serious. I mean, this is what we do as a livelihood. And yeah, I want to have fun and be successful and being a YouTuber and being a reseller. But, at the end of the day, it's a business. I get it,
Yeah, it is a business, but the community and the reseller community, I mean, the longer you do this, the more you find out how awesome the majority of the people in this community are.
Yeah, I think so. I just can't waste. Some people get caught up. I can't waste 6 hours a day on YouTube. You know what I mean? I gotta work, gotta hustle. So,
I'd never watched YouTube before I went to that resell remix in Vegas last year. I mean, I was there. I didn't have any idea who any of the people were who were there.
Yeah, I remember
you really started watching it, and I mean, I still, I'll have it on in the background while I'm doing stuff, and I have learned a lot, and I've met a lot of people. So I'm glad I got turned on to it. But I'm like you, I can't sit and watch YouTube 6 hours a day.
No, exactly. And I really want to get on the road. I love the show American Pickers. I never had much as a kid, and I want to tell stories of unique places that, hey, I came across this old store, traveling through Virginia and Kentucky, and this guy had this, unique signs and things like that, and feature some of those things on my website and really just kind of tell there's people that have been in these stores, like a hardware store. They've been doing it for 70 years and just the stuff that you come across. And, you're only here one time, and what we choose to do for a living and take care of our family. It's not necessarily, it's a corporate job and stuff like that. It's a lot of it is small business and entrepreneurship and about the family and stuff. And, I like that. So I want to share that story sometimes on videos that I do.
All right. Well, I appreciate you having me on, and we'll talk to you next time.
Yep. Hang tight a second.
Go Vols.